You know, what you're watching right now isn't just another cool tech demo. This is something else entirely. It's a potential turning point in the whole story of artificial general intelligence, AGI. That's the moment when an AI can learn and reason across tons of different tasks, just like we can. And while everyone's busy arguing about when AGI is going to get here, Google DeepMind just dropped something that kind of suggests we might be watching it happen right now.
So take a look at this. It looks like pretty standard gameplay, right? A character running around a complex world, making decisions, getting stuff done. You'd totally assume it was a person sitting at a keyboard. But it's not. And if you're thinking, oh, I've seen gaming bots before, trust me, this is on a whole different planet.
That player, that's SIMA2, an AI from Google DeepMind. And it's not just playing a game, it's learning, it's reasoning, and it's getting better all by itself. What we're actually seeing here is an AI that is teaching itself to think. This is a quantum leap that I think most people are completely missing right now.
Okay, so what is it that makes this AI so different? I mean, this isn't just some small upgrade. SIMA2 is basically rewriting the rules of the entire game.
Okay, here is the absolute crucial difference. Unlike all those other AIs that basically cheat by plugging right into the game's code, SIMA2 plays just like a person. It literally sees the pixels on the screen and uses a virtual keyboard and mouse. It has to figure things out just by looking and trying stuff. Now that might sound like a small detail, but it's not. It's the key to everything.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. Google DeepMind themselves said it plain as day in their announcement. They know exactly what they built here, calling it a significant step in the direction of artificial general intelligence. That's not an accident. That's a deliberate, stated goal. They are building toward AGI.
To really get how huge this leap is, let's just rewind the clock a little. Its predecessor, SIMA1, came out just 20 months ago, and it was impressive back then. But SIMA2, it's just operating on a completely different level of reality.
The difference is just, well, it's stark. On the left, you've got SIMA1. You give it a kind of complex instruction, and it just gets confused. It wanders around, and it fails. Now look at the right. SIMA2 hears the same thing, and it actually reasons through the problem. It thinks to itself, okay, I'll head toward the cave, then it navigates the tricky terrain and just does it. This isn't just better performance, this is real problem solving.
And the numbers, they absolutely back this up. In these games, a human player succeeds about 76% of the time. SIMA1 was way down at 31%, but look at SIMA2, it rocketed all the way to 65%. It nearly doubled its performance and is getting seriously close to the human baseline in less than 2 years.
But honestly, this is the number that just blows my mind. 14%. That is SIMA2's success rate on games it has never seen before. To put that in perspective, SIMA1 was at 0. A 14% success rate on a totally new game shows that it can generalize its skills, and that is a true hallmark of actual intelligence.
So the big question is, how did it get so smart so fast? This is where we get to the real heart of the breakthrough. It's not just that they built a better AI agent. It's that they built a system for unlimited, unstoppable learning. What SIMA2 has done is achieve one of the holy grails of AI research. It can improve itself completely on its own. It's using the Gemini model to be 3 things at once. It's the player, sure, but it's also the teacher that gives itself new homework, and it's the judge that grades its own performance. It creates its own curriculum and learns new skills with absolutely zero extra human input.
And then there's the second piece of this insane puzzle, Genie 3. This is another AI that can create brand new, playable 3D worlds from just a single picture or a line of text. Just think about that for a second. That means an infinite supply of unique training gems for SIMA2, created instantly, on demand.
So there it is. That's the secret formula. You combine a self-teaching agent like SIMA2 with an infinite world generator like Genie 3, and what you get is a recipe for exponential growth. The AI can literally generate its own training data, create its own virtual worlds to practice in, and master them faster than we can even keep up.
Now you might be thinking, okay, that's cool, but it's just getting better at video games. So what? And if you're thinking that, you're missing the most important part of this whole story. This was never, ever just about gaming.
See, video games are the perfect sandboxes for learning the building blocks of general intelligence. Every time SIMA2 learns to, say, drive a car or build a house in a game, it's not just learning game mechanics. It's learning skills that transfer to anything: navigation, using tools, planning ahead.
This is the idea that should really make you stop and think.
Imagine taking that digital brain, one that can master 1,000 virtual worlds, and plugging it into a robot. To that AI, our physical world is just another game. It's still just seeing pixels, but they're coming from a camera. And it's still sending commands, but they're going to motors instead of a virtual character.
And DeepMind is being totally upfront about this connection. They say that these skills are the foundation for AI assistance in the physical world. The path from mastering virtual worlds to building real-world robots is not some sci-fi dream. It's a clear and direct roadmap.
So let's just pull back for a second and look at the big picture here. Because what we're seeing isn't just one cool breakthrough. It's evidence of a whole new way of creating intelligence itself.
There's this famous idea in AI research called the bitter lesson, and it basically says that trying to carefully hand-code human knowledge into an AI is a dead end. In the long run, the most powerful systems will always be the ones that just learn for themselves from raw data and pure computation. SIMA2 is the bitter lesson made real. We are no longer programming intelligence, we're creating the conditions for it to just emerge.
So when we look at this graph again, it's really easy to just focus on the gap that's still there. Some people will look at this and say, see, humans are still better. But that misses the entire point. The most important story on this chart isn't the gap, it's the trajectory.
So you have to ask yourself, where does that line go from here? We've seen this exact pattern play out over and over again with AI. In chess, in Go, in protein folding, these systems, they don't just reach the human baseline and then politely stop. They blow right past it. Do we really think SIMA3 or SIMA4 is just going to stop at 76%?
So what does this actually mean for you? Well, if you're a knowledge worker, that complex software you use every day, it's just another game for an AI to master. If you run a business, that big automation cliff people talk about just got a whole lot closer. And really, for all of us, the very definition of what counts as a valuable human skill is shifting right under our feet.
Look, I'm not saying SIMA2 is AGI. It definitely still has its limits. But we might be watching AGI emerge, not in some single flash of lightning, but as a series of thresholds being crossed, one after the other. When an AI can learn any task you give it, reason about its own goals, improve itself without any help from us, and then transfer those skills to the real world, at what point do we stop calling it narrow AI and start calling it something else?